Our creative corner this morning, a project that could be an alternative to the Easter basket, a way of giving a small gift, but not having to fill a whole basket, if you will. Today we're making filled paper cones, or Tussie Mussies, for Easter. Neal brings us this romantic and delightful suggestion. You're delightful. Hello, good to see you.
Hi. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you. I've never heard the phrase Tussie Mussies.
I had heard about it, but I didn't know a whole lot, so, you know, I did my...
Fun.
It is kind of a fun word, yeah, and it's actually not a new word, it's a really old word. Queen Victoria actually penned it. Have you watched the new show, Victoria?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
Everyone's
so now I'm really attuned to this. But so you know, you did know though that they used to carry little floral bouquets.
Yes.
For hygiene reasons. You've heard that, right?
Smell, aroma,
right.
all of it, yes.
They didn't bathe a lot back then. Anyways, but she was the one who kind of took it and put it in a really pretty cone and called it a Tussie Mussie. And so, yeah, and then it became this tradition where people would gift it, especially in courtship, people would gift like this cone, you know, they would give it to them. This is really funny, you're gonna love this.
Sweet.
So, they didn't have texting back then, so they would they would hide secret messages in the floral bouquets to get to there, because they were very, you know, prim and proper back then, and they didn't let them spend a lot of time together.
They couldn't declare their romantic notions out loud.
And then on top of that, there was also symbols, like certain flowers had symbols, like red roses meant I love you.
Right.
And then Kate Middleton, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
It is, right? Kate Middleton, right? Okay. When she got married, she actually held a Tussie Mussie full of these white, really just from the garden flowers, but they all had a symbol. Yeah, so like Lily of the Valley, I believe meant trustworthy.
Sweet.
I know, and just these really fun symbols. So it just has a really fun history to it.
Well, I hope Queen Victoria wouldn't be offended that I've been taking the phrase Tussie Mussie and been inserting it into the song Stupid Cupid all morning in my head. Tussie Mussie, right? It kind of goes. Anyway, you're going to show us how to make these for Easter, and there's drippings and lace and bows, and they're really pretty to look at.
Yeah, and I kept it a lot simpler than, I mean, the Victorian ones were extremely elaborate and very embellished.
I liked this.
I took it down, and I was like, that's way too much work. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. One is getting a paper mache cone from your craft store.
Yes.
2 different sizes. This is 6, this is 4. They work well. For instance, this is the largest one. Works well when you're putting heavy things into it.
Okay.
You know, so like this is going to be for my granddaughters actually. You know, they're 2 and 4. They're not at that stage of their life where they're consuming a lot of candy.
Right.
You know, so I can tuck some gifts in there, the little, you know, fluffy bunny, and maybe a little bit of treat, you know. But I mean, this is almost as big as my 2-year-old. So I can just imagine her holding that.
I wish my husband would have adopted your mentality, because he came home from Target the other day with like a giant chocolate bunny for the Easter basket. And I'm like, she's 2.
Yeah,
like,
you'll be eating that.
Well, fine. No complaints.
She'll have like a little nibble and you'll be eating that.
Okay, so that's the cone shape that you used.
And then this one here is with the smaller cone. So you can go that direction, but you can also just use paper. Will you pass me that 12 by 12? So most of us crafters know what 12 by 12 pattern paper is, right? And this is a little bit thicker, but you can get a thinner. It's kind of hard to find the thin paper, but you see these 12 by 12 packs. This is thinner. Can you see how much thinner that is? Yeah. So that's really nice to work with, especially when you're making these small ones.
So you're saying the paper then becomes the cone, no shape needed.
Exactly. And so for instance, this one, what I did, because I used thin paper, but I wanted that strength, I just made a cone first with white cardstock and then just layered the pretty paper on top of it. Okay, so that's an option as well.
You're going to show a small scale, right?
Yeah, so when I was first doing this, I was like, well, I want to make a cone. I want to create a template for people to just make it on their own, and I did. I mean, I spent hours, not quite, on Photoshop creating this perfect template, and I just went, this is just way too much work. And I came up with this super easy technique.
We love super
I called it, because I love naming things.
Yes.
The one fold and roll technique.
The one fold and roll?
One fold and roll.
Teach us.
Okay.
We need to know.
So this and yours there, because you're going to do it too.
I'm ready.
Is you don't even need scissors for this. Okay. So this is 1/4 of a 12 by 12. So 6 by 6. You can go, this size will make that size. Okay. This size will make this size.
Cute.
All right.
Yep.
But you can go anywhere in between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Okay. But we're just going to use the 12 by 12. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. All right. You just need a ruler, because it does make, you could eyeball this, but, and I hope the camera can catch this. I'm just going to take my Tim Holtz ruler, which has a 0 in the center. You can use another ruler, but I really do like this.
Tim Holtz, he's a smart man. That 0
he is.
makes
he
it
thinks
such a
like
difference.
a crafter, man. Yes. And I'm just centering it opposing corners. I'm going to take this bottom corner, I'm just going to fold it up to that 0 like that. I just realized I should have done it this way. Okay, now we did it right. Okay,
yes.
That's it. One fold, now we got to roll.
One fold and roll?
You do that while I'm rolling.
One fold and roll.
Now we're going to use our fingers, and we're just going to use them to kind of warm up the paper and start curving it a little bit.
Do we really need to warm up the
We
paper?
really do. Trust me on this.
This feels like a crafter extra
It
step.
is. Okay, so it basically is breaking down the fibers, and see it's already starting to roll. Because we're rolling this. Otherwise you get creases and all that stuff, and you don't want that. So once you've done that, you're just going to start rolling. Again, we're starting in this corner, right? Because this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. And just kind of use your fingers to roll.
The one fold and roll.
Okay. And then you just kind of open it to where you want, because you can do a really tight roll, like see how yours is a little bit tighter? That can be really fun if you're doing something small, but I want enough space to put something in there.
Treats. Goodies.
So at this point, you can just adhere on the back. Let me show you what I do.
Perfect.
Because that's just how I roll.
That's
how I roll.
Oh my gosh. You did it.
Oh, okay.
We want to do it how you do it.
I roll it, then I unroll it. So now see, it has the memory of that roll. I put a little bit of adhesive on the center and down one side, and I re-roll it.
That was just double-sided tape.
Double-sided tape. I don't know if you can see this. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. So that one piece of adhesive I put down here will hold the shape.
Cute.
So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, oh, I want it that size, right? Stick it on and then just roll. And now it
Tussie
is
Mussy.
done.
There
And
it
look
is.
at this adorable little thing I found at Hobby Lobby.
I love that.
If you're making a lot of these, this is what I used last night when I was making all 12 of the little minis, and it was so fast and easy.
Okay, really quickly, we have like
Sure.
30 seconds.
Sure.
Can you show us the fringe that you did with that crepe paper material on the
Yes,
top?
absolutely. Do you still have that piece that I gave you?
I do.
Okay, so this is European, I think it's called European crepe paper. I don't know where to get this locally. So unfortunately, you probably won't have time to get it from Amazon before Easter. But it is the coolest stuff, and it really is an ode to Victorian. It's very thick. It's thicker than normal crepe paper. And if you just cut it in strips, and then you just kind of move it.
It has a memory.
Yeah,
it's
isn't
like
that neat?
Your favorite pair of stretch pants. It just stays where you want it to stay.
It's like makes a ruffle without sewing, and the easiest way.
Look at that.
And I just tucked it in.
Yep.
And it kind of looks like, well, I need a shirt with a collar like that.
Yes, it's like Queen
Wouldn't that be
Victoria
awesome?
would have worn on her beautiful gown.
Absolutely.
The drippings, the fillings, I think the flowers on top are such a sweet touch. This was fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, if you want more creative inspiration from our dear friend Sue, you have a card class coming up that I know people are going to be excited to take part in.
And even if you don't have any pets, you will still like this class. It's called Cats and Dogs.
Okay.
5 simple cards. Classes start April 4th, excuse me. And you can learn more about it on my Facebook page, Q's Creative Cards.
Thank you so much, darling designs. Darling. All right.